So today's minutes with BJ, in a sense, be a little bit differently today. And the reason why I want to do something different today, because I want to take this opportunity to actually begin to slowly start teaching certain things that are imperative for a person that's deciding to go to business. There's an entrepreneur. There's a lot of differences in between the two, and that's what we're going to kind of go over today. And I got a little chalkboard in the back, and so Erica's already working, otherwise I would have her doing the camera for me. And so because of that, we're going to do it a little differently today. So I will feedback, comments, whatever. We can argue in the comments if you like, but if you want to argue with what I'm going to teach today, I want you to have a portfolio. I want you to have liquid capital. I want to see the assets that you have, so on and so forth. So you're just not talking in your opinion, but you're actually bringing facts to the table. Okay, so with that being said, what we're going to talk about today actually stems from a conversation I have a lot of times through Instagram messages, and all these entrepreneurs are now trying to always come in my inbox and sell me some type of something that I may need to help me in my businesses. And so what I do is I begin to ask them questions about the service that they're so-called offering to me. And what I always run into is that they're not even sure about the services they're offering to me, and yet they want me to hook up with them. They want me to buy from them. They want to consult with me, and they fully don't understand the platforms that they're in. So the conversation I had today with a guy is he was asking me, looked at your couple of businesses, and I want to know if you have websites. And I told him I only have one website. I don't have any other websites, nor do I need a website today. So he could not understand it. Oh, it's 2019. What do you mean you don't need a website? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You have to have a website. And I told him I don't need a website. So we began to have this dialogue back and forth, and eventually he got upset because he couldn't stand on his own 2 feet. So I told him, hey, I'm not trying to get on you. I'm challenging your perspective so the next person you talk to, you can actually understand what you're talking about, be able to reach the person that you're talking to based on doing research, and don't just have your skit that you're presenting to someone, because then you might get your feelings hurt because you don't really know what you're talking about. Now, but part of this dialogue is I began asking, why in the world, pay attention to this, why in the world would I want my business to have a website and I want people to Google me and find me? Now, automatically that makes sense to the business owner, not to the entrepreneur. The business owner, of course, they follow all the rules to then get customers. An entrepreneur does not follow rules. They find a way to get money. And so the smoke screen to getting money is usually behind businesses, but their mentality is, I'm going to get the money. So when they figure out systems, they try to find a way around the systems that cost the least amount of money in order to obtain the same goal. Money, customers, acquisitions, conversions, whatever. They find ways around these systems. So I'm going to give an illustration today of what I mean. So back to my question once again. Why do I want people to find me on Google searching for random stuff? So I'm going to give an example. I have a landscaping business, obviously, okay? So people who follow me. Why do I want a person to go Google landscaping in Katy? So if all those people watching this, and if anybody definitely wants to challenge this idea, I want you to look up for the first 3 pages. How many landscaping companies will pop up on Google when you research that? Now, when you find those 3, you might happen to find me, you might not, because I'm not have set up that way. Because for me, that doesn't make any sense, because I have no desire to be the cheapest. So when the normal consumer Googles something and they find 10 people doing the exact same thing based on their perception, then they go down the list and they begin to call and get quotes. Guess who's going to win? The person that gives them the most stuff for the cheapest price. Now, the problem with that is that when you do that, you get what you pay for. So if I want to have an employee that I pay $10 an hour to go do a job that a person that's the best would do is a person who's experienced. And so a person who's an expert has probably been doing something for 10 years. So if I go get a person $10 an hour, and now instead of something being $300, I can charge you $200. I pay this person $10 an hour. You're going to get the result of that work from a person that has not perfected their craft, instead of a person who's an expert in what they do, and you get what you're looking for. There's a difference. So the only reason why I can do that is I must control my cost and what it costs for me to obtain the customer. So I can hire a person, not $10 an hour. It may be 30 because they are a contractor and they perfected their craft. So it might be $30 an hour, but then what you get is perfection. So a business person doesn't go around the back. They sit down with somebody. They find the first 10 steps in order how to be successful, and they do those steps. An entrepreneur has a vision in their mind that they want to manifest, so they begin to search and find out ways in order to manifest the vision. These two people are not the same. Now let's look at the board. Now I can't figure out how to switch this thing. I'm going to turn it around. Okay, so I know you guys can't read it, obviously, but this one says business owner and this one says entrepreneur. Okay, so the business owner, like I said before, follows the rules. They spend money in order to get a customer. Okay, now this amount of money can range depending on their services. So let's say you go out here and you get a website. That's $2,000 to a person, makes you a perfect website. Then you go out there and get a certain amount of equipment based on how you want to look professional. Then you want to go and you want to wrap the vehicle, and that costs you a couple $1,000s because you want to fake it until you actually make it. And this would allow you to spend money. So you better have loans, investors. You might have saved a whole bunch of money. So depending on exactly what you're doing and your aspirations, you might have had to pay $2,000, but that's at least for the website, or you might have paid $20,000 in order to start your business. To me, that's erroneous, okay? So an entrepreneur over here understands all these rules, all these expectations, and they say, absolutely not. Why would I go spend all that money when, number one, I can figure it out? This other person isn't smarter than me. They haven't, did something amazing, went to the moon or something, so where I know that they are so much better at this that I can never understand it. So instead of me spending $2,000, why not figure out a way to do this myself and control the cost, and then I will understand if it's actually better or not. So for my people that may watch this that do websites, if you do the hashtag, put a hashtag, no limitations, you will find me on the first page of Google, so I understand SEO. And I'm still telling you that me being on Google has not converted me any sales hardly at all, very few in comparison to me running Facebook ads. So if I had somebody set my SEO up, giving me tips, paying them a monthly wage, I would have already made 5 or 6 sales based on running Facebook ads instead of using SEO. So, but what these people do is they come in, oh, you a business owner, or I can do this for you, blah, blah, blah. And they're kind of getting over on them because you can actually figure it out yourself. But a business owner generally won't figure it out. An entrepreneur will. I don't want to give up money to a person that's helping me make my vision in my mind because I need employees. I need a marketing budget. I need to convert. I need to get word of mouth. I need to provide a service that is by far no one can compete with. And that's how I become successful. Not looking it, faking it, and hoping I get esteem from other people. I need to convert so I can build on this. This is the difference. So the entrepreneur knows they need a customer. So what do? They understand all these platforms, like I said, understand websites, and they will decide, okay, instead of spending $2,000 on a website that they may not understand technically how to create, what they would do is use a Facebook page. Use something that is free and go get the customer that leads to money for them. Something that's free. Now the problem with this free is going to take you a long time in order to perfect something that's free, but all you have is time. You have your time. And so business owners are in this illusion that they don't have any time, even though somebody else got the same 24 as they do. So they spend all this money that they probably don't have unless they've built a business. So because they're spending all this money and they don't get enough customers in, they go out of business. Every business that you know of that goes under is because there wasn't enough revenue coming in. And mostly because their overhead is way too high. This is the issue. So again, entrepreneur finds a way to get the customer using free platforms, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, to get the customer, and they make money. This money is then over here that goes right back into the vision. The money. This business owner here, a lot of times spends too much money, and even with these things they have done, they still don't understand how to do them themselves. So what if the guy who charged you $1,500 instead of $2,500 goes out of business? Now the next time you need the service again, you didn't learn how to do it, so now you have to spend this money all over again, okay? This is where we are here. So, just to bring it all in so we can understand. People out here selling people websites for a ridiculous price, and Facebook pages are free. So, it doesn't matter what website you have. Either somebody uses their iPhone or Mac. Because if you don't have Apple, you're not an entrepreneur. Okay? So, you want to have this Apple stuff, or you want to have these avenues. This is how they find your business. They use this to get your website. Now, the problem is getting to a website generally is not free. So my question is, how do people find your website? You spent $2,500, make this amazing website, you got these amazing products. How in the world are people finding you? Well, okay, so if they found you, how many people come to your website every week, every month? And I'll talk to people that spend $250 and they have 10 visits to their website every month. If I spend $250, I will have 1,000 visits to my website. The same amount of money, way more visits, will equal up to higher conversions. Most of the time when people go to a website, even your product is terrible, you don't have a good website, maybe they don't understand it, or even they don't really need your product, you might get 3% conversion. So if you have 10 people going to a website, 3% conversion, it's not a lot of money. If I have 1,000 people going to a website, 3% conversion, same conversions, I'm making a lot more money than you, okay? So let's recap. Even if you have the website and it's amazing and you spend $2,000, how much money now are you gonna have to spend to send people there? So having a business is no joke. People are counting on you. People's livelihoods are counting on you. People go out of business every single day because generally they have not perfected what it takes in order to run their business successfully, generally because they're spending too much money on the front end and they're not getting enough money coming in. So I hope you guys got something today. Usually I don't come like this. You know, when I do this, because usually I like to use this platform just to encourage, bring thoughts. But I mean, it's so constant. You know, and I keep telling people there's a difference between entrepreneur and a businessman. A lot of people don't understand it. So hope you guys get some value from this video. I'm sorry it was so long, but I just feel I need to clarify that for somebody that will watch this video and get with somebody who understands, get with somebody who needs, or you need their help, get a perfect plan, get a good plan of action that will cost you the least amount of money per start up, or you would not be successful. So, grace and peace. Comment below. If you guys want to do more videos like this, let me know. I can do these type of things every so often. Let me know. Thank you.